أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
That was actually a testing question just to see whether you have muted your microphone, and all of you answered me, so you have not muted your microphone. So that's interesting. But well, if you are happy with that and the quality of the voice is okay, we can continue. So today, inshallah, we'll start with this, and I want to start with a parable, so you can understand how are we going to go through this. So in the second slide, I want to go through the story of the three friends, and you can see that there are three friends, the red, blue, and green. A fourth friend came to them, and this fourth friend told them that he saw a treasure, and that treasure is in a different planet. So the three of them has believed him. Are you okay? Okay. Shall I continue?
Yes.
Alright. So the three of them has believed him. He told them to go there. You need to follow the manual to make the spaceship. Otherwise you cannot go. So the red one told him, well, this is a lot of work, and although you are a good man, but probably it's difficult to be 100% sure that you have seen that planet and treasure. So I'm out. I'm not doing it. The green and blue, they decided to go ahead and do it, and they really followed the manual. They made the best ship. So both of them has gone. He said, the white one told them, after that you have to go through a very difficult map. The road is a bit difficult, but you have to follow this. And actually it was really difficult. The blue could manage to finish it to the end, while the green couldn't. In the mid of the way, he found it so difficult, and the hardship is so difficult to go through, so he decided, no, I cannot really continue. So what I want to get from this parable, if you go to the next slide, you'll see that what are the difference between these three. The red one, he believed, right? But he decided not to go to follow the manual, and he decided not to build the ship, so he could not go. The green, he believed, and he followed the instruction. He did it step by step. But then when it came to using this and go through the difficult map, he could not do it. While the blue, he believed, he followed the instruction, and he had a faith to go through this. So what are we going? This parable is the white one is the message from God, and we can all believe in it. We have a problem to start with whether or some people may have a problem with believing or not. So believe is the first thing, but believe by itself is not enough. You need to follow the instruction, and the instruction is all the rules and recommendation that Allah gave to us, and this is fiqh. And this is very good vehicle to reach, but this is not enough. For us to reach there, we have to have a faith. So inshallah, our discussion, and this is in the slide after, for the belief, we will try to get the knowledge, and the knowledge of how to believe that this fact is there. And then to follow the instruction to build our ship, we will study a bit of fiqh, and these are the rules. That's not enough to get us to the end point. We have to have a faith, and that's why we'll go through a bit of spiritual study, inshallah. So let's start with the first one, with the knowledge. Well, up to here, anybody has any question? That means yes or no. If there is no question, I would I would take silence as no question. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Let's continue then. So knowledge. With knowledge, I need to clarify to start with, can we ask any question? And really, the answer is yes. Actually, we should be able to ask any questions. There is no question which is stupid questions, and there is no question which is not allowed, because even if I can prevent my tongue to say things, and I'm talking here question about even your questions about God and His presence, really you cannot prevent your mind from asking the question. You may stop saying it, you may be afraid of saying it, you may stop your tongue saying it, but to stop your mind you need to think. And that's what we are trying to go through today, inshallah, and in the next few sessions. So I'll start with the first question. Before starting with the first questions, to start with, how many types of questioners? When you are in the community, you may face these questions. Why do you believe? And how do you know there is a God? And all these questions. Or from the other side, why do we follow the instructions? There's even some Muslims can ask these questions to you. So no question is wrong, but the questioner, you need to check that. We have either a truth seeker. So this is the one that usually you will be very happy to answer and find out, because sometimes we don't know the answer, we have to find out. But if they are truth seeker, they will seek to find this answer. But you have a second group, and this is the yellow circle. They ask the questions because they are looking for their secondary gain. Which means what? Sometimes you'll find people who impose the questions because they don't want to follow the instruction. For example, who said that there is hijab? Or who said that this is haram and this is halal? Who said that we cannot say that? I don't believe in the background. All these questions, it's valid questions, but really you will find such type of people, even if you bring them the best of proof, they will not follow. And the reason is because the main intent or the main background from questioning, they don't want the truth. They just want to give an excuse to themselves not to follow. The third group is the one who actually come to ask you all these questions just to prove you wrong. And those guys, they don't deserve to answer them really. This is mainly for the argument's sake, and they are not a truth seeker. So you need to find out first, before looking for any answers, am I dealing with a truth seeker or the other two groups? Because the other two groups, they are just bothersome really, rather than they will get any benefit. And you don't need to spend time to answer them. Or even, although actually it's up to you if you want to, there's no problem with that, but that's in general. So let's start with the first question now.
The most dangerous one is the argumentative person.
That's quite right. Yes.
The other two, you can speak to them, and if someone who is truth seeker, that's wonderful. If someone for secondary gain, you might put him on the right path.
That's quite right. Yes. Right. So the first question: how many has done it? Some of you probably heard me saying this example before, but it's usually worth trying it again. So if you have one car and you have this one toy, how many could have done it? So if we think, can 3 do it? I would say yes. If I remove one, can 2 do it? I would say yeah, why not? Well, what about we remove 2 of them and it's only 1? Can 1 do it? Sure, I mean if he is clever enough or she is clever enough, they can do it. What about if we remove them all? Can none do it? I think my simple mind will say it's not possible, isn't it? Anybody of you can have an idea or have a different thing, like can nobody do it? It just appeared? No?
No.
Oh, okay. So this will bring me to slide number 9. It means this very simple thinking will bring me to, for any effect there should be a cause. There's nothing come out of the blue. Accidents is not something we accept or believe in, because there is no accident. Really, there is no accident at all. And if for those of you who likes Kung Fu Panda, they remember in Kung Fu Panda 1 what? Shifu? Not Shifu.
No.
What's his name?
Master Uguay.
Master Uguay says there is no accident, and he was right. There is no accident. Every cause, there is an effect. So this is one fact. I will go now to the second fact. The second fact is, or the question comes, who was before him? Unfortunately, I usually like my animation, but with the Skype I cannot do the animation. So I want to use your imagination. So just imagine you have this cup, and it's half filled, a bit more than half filled, and we cover it. We put a cover to secure this cover that there's no nothing can come out at all. And then we have a device we put in so we can suck all the fluid, and we suck all the air. And if you go to slide 11, you see that it's totally empty. There is a vacuum there. The question is, can you still see the cup?
Yes.
So if you still see the cup, it means even if you remove everything inside, the presence of cup is not affected, isn't it?
No.
So this will bring me to the fact that something has to ever exist. Because I want to take you further. If you think about the whole universe, if the whole universe empty, is there nothing? You need to think about it. So really, non-existent is not a possibility. There should always something exist. Even if the universe totally zero, we did not come from zero. There is something. There is this volume, empty volume is still there. So the non-existent is not a possibility. Alright, I'll take you, well, before I move it quickly, are you with me in this?
Yes.
Alright. What about Muhammad and Ali?
Just one point. The volume cannot exist without anything. Something has to be existing before that volume exists, because the volume it has or it needs material to fill it.
The material usually comes for the mass.
Need to fill it.
Volume does not have a mass. For the filling, we need a mass. So for the space to exist, it should be always exist. If we imagine that there is no space and no emptiness, and even the emptiness is there, empty in what? There should be a container to have this emptiness. So I will go to the third question. The universe is expanding, isn't it? At least that's what the Big Bang Theory is saying. That we start from zero and this is expanding, and that's what proved by, well, at least we have some support from Quran for it. وَإِنَّا لَمُوسِعُونَ, that we are going to expand this further and further. But I want you to go down to other way. So if we say we are expanding, so we are exponentially expanding. What about we take it down and backward? We have a time machine and we go back. So instead of expanding, we will go smaller, 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 smaller to what?
Singularity.
To singularity. to one thing. So even with the Big Bang Theory, there is only one thing in the beginning. I think now let's put all these together. Let's put them together. Non-existence is not a possibility. So there's something which is ever exist. It's impossible that there is nothing. The nothingness is logically is not acceptable. So if there is non-existence, something will ever exist. And if something will ever exist, whether there is something there, like whether we started from Big Bang and expanded, or it will go back, that thing will ever exist. Are you with me in this, or I'm talking gibberish?
Yes.
Alright.
No, you're not talking gibberish.
Okay, good. Thanks, Muhammad. I always like your support. Okay.
You're welcome.
Alright. So, that's what takes us to where? Can anything be before him? Well, there is no before, because there is something ever exists. And can anything be after him? There is no after, because it's ever.
When you say him, do you mean Allah?
I'm coming to that. That's quite right. Exactly. This existence is Allah. So can nothing be before him, and can nothing be after him, because he ever exists. So the before and after for him does not present. And that's what Quran told us, because he is encompassing everything. And that's what Quran told us, he is the first and the last. This is in Surah Al-Hadid, huwa al-awwalu wal-akhir. So I will stop here for the knowledge. Remember, our discussion will be in 3 lines, and each time will take some. So any questions about the knowledge? So this is, we are talking about the belief. We haven't talked about the faith yet. Any questions here?
No.
I'll take this as no. Okay. Now, I have a question for you. What's the difference between belief and faith?
The difference between belief and faith is belief is what like you trust in and what you go through.
Yes.
And faith is like the morals, the support you have, like
what?
Like if you're a Muslim, you believe in Allah.
Yes.
But the faith is like, if you're, as the example you did with the ship, the faith is he's trusting himself. He believes in himself.
Close, but I'll give you a simpler example. This is Ali who was talking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Ali, if I tell you now to put your hand on a fire, would you do that?
No.
Why? Why wouldn't you?
What? What do you? Sorry,
Simple
but
question. I asked you to put your hand in fire, and you said I won't. My question is why?
You're what, on fire?
But
Put your hand in
but
fire.
I'm not.
Yes.
But isn't that through past experience, not from knowledge?
That's quite right. But I want to take you further. So this is from past experience. You have what? You believe fire will do what for you?
It'll burn you.
It will burn you. Now, if I tell a 2-year-old who never seen a fire and doesn't know the fire, I'll tell him that don't put your hand on a fire. He may believe, and he will say why. I'll say because that would hurt you. Believe me, but do you think he will try one day?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, if he's stupid enough.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. The difference here.
Curiosity.
The difference here.
Well, in these circumstances, is you a friend to the person that hasn't seen fire?
What?
Are you in these circumstances? Are you a friend to the?
I am a friend. Yeah.
You are a friend?
Yes.
No, he'll trust you. If you're not a friend, he won't trust you.
Right. So what I want to come to is the difference between belief and faith. that the child have belief in me but doesn't have faith, so he would try, but you would not try because you have faith that fire will burn you. That's the difference between belief and faith. Faith is a complete acceptance, while belief is just knowledgeable acceptance. So that's what we are trying to go through today, inshallah. We discuss the belief so we can have a good support to our background so we can answer. But this will not take us further. We have to go further. Now, this is the belief. Remember, the red guy did have a belief, but he decided not to build his ship. So we are going now to building our ship through fiqh. This is, I call it Allah potion. It is really a potion because all these delicacy in fiqh is the way that we are going to build our ship to go to Him. So let's start with the first one. And
I'm sorry, but what slide are you on?
I'm in slide number 22.
Okay, thank you. You lost me.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Number what?
22.
What number was that?
22. Have you got it?
I got that.
You don't have a 22?
No, I got it.
Oh, good. Okay, right. So reaching the physical and age requirement, which means, in our fiqh, until you reach the required age, you are not obliged to do things. So the question is, we always call this sin taklif, which means the responsibilities. Well, that's what we usually call it, responsibilities and duties. So once you reach certain age, you have to do things. Is it really like that? Or actually it's the age of honor and favor? Why I would call it I call it tashrif. Why is it tashrif? Because it's the time when Allah has told you are fit to come to me. Before that you are either physically or mentally probably not fit enough to come, but still if you want, I'm fully open for you. So really it is the age of honor that are going to, and we are going to discuss all these things which actually it's the honor that Allah has given us to meet Him. So it's not, try to readjust our thinking. It's not duties and responsibilities. It's really a favor that we have to go through to reach Him, inshallah. So next slide will be, in general, the types of instruction in Islam, we divide it to 5 things. And I put it 2 in green, 2 in red, and 1 in yellow. So the green one is the good ones. The must do, these are the wajib, and the preferred to do is the mustahab. Those who are in red, it's must not do, this is the haram. And those who are preferred not to do, this is makruh. Are these difficult words? I think we need to remember them because it will come a lot in the fiqh. So wajib, haram, mustahab, makruh, and this which you can, it's up to you whether you want to do it or not. For example, if I want to drink a cup of coffee, this is up to me, and this is mubah. So Allah will not tell me anything about it. And actually you can find most of the things in our life are mubah. So in general, everything is mubah, everything is up to us unless it's specified. Alright, let's go for fasting. And although usually in fiqh we don't start with fasting, but because we are close to Ramadan, so I thought probably fasting is the best way to start with. So the fasting portion, what is it? It's an honor that Allah has given to the eligible Muslims to fast from Fajr to Maghrib. This is very easy. Who can and should do it? In another word, what are the entry conditions? You can see these are 7. First, Islam, then maturity or bulugh, then sanity or consciousness, so they have mind. 4, they should be pure. 5, there will be no harm to them. And 6, they are not traveling, and 7 they made the intent. So we'll take them in a bit more detail. I'm now in slide 26. First one, Islam, definitely. I mean, it's not wajib for non-Muslim. I don't think this needs a lot of thinking here. 2, maturity or bulugh. So what's bulugh for ladies, for girls? From age of 9 years, they are baligh, so they are obliged to do it. While for boys, either when they reach age 15, so that means probably girls get mature quicker than boys. Sorry, boys. Or for boys, if they are a bit better than this, they can do better than 15. If they develop the groin hair or they have wet dream, and we discuss this in separate session for each gender, so I don't go further in this. Alright. Then sanity or consciousness. So definitely insanity is an exclusion, so you would not ask an insane to fast. I don't think we need to think about it. But the important thing is the conscious level. So can you think about an example of when a person become unconscious?
When they get hit in the temple.
What's that? When they get what?
They get hit in the head.
That's quite right, yes. So the boxers, yeah. Yeah, quite right. Excellent. So that's one. So it's very interesting actually when you go to fiqh for this. If they got hit in the head before they made the niyyah for fasting, they cannot fast. But if they make the niyyah, for example, before Fajr they are doing suhoor, so they made the niyyah they want to fast, and then a friend come and knock them. They are fasting, so they can't finish their fasting. So you need to remember that. That's interesting, isn't it?
What if you're starting to feel dizzy?
No, I mean unconscious means you are totally out.
You're white.
Oh, okay.
Not just dizzy. Yes.
But say if you were unconscious and you were fasting, would that break your fast, or you're still fasting?
It doesn't. It doesn't if you have done the niyyah before it.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Oh, okay.
So actually it is sort of a gift, I think, from God that, well, don't try it. Don't make anybody knock you down. Right? But it is actually in fiqh, if you make the niyyah and you knock down, it's okay. Because that shouldn't disturb anything.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Alright.
So niyyah is very important here. Alright. Ibrahim?
If you go unconscious, do you have to do your siyam another day, or is it like...
No, you didn't understand me then. The siyam is maqbool, is acceptable. You don't need to do qada. Okay. Alright, then tahara, or purity. So for girls, they should not have a period or what we call nifas, which is something like the period after delivery. So in these two situations, they cannot do fasting. For the boys, if they did have what we call janaba or wet dream, and they did not wash themselves before Fajr, also they cannot do fasting. So this is what we talk about tahara. Also, that would be a separate session for each gender, inshallah. And then no harm. This is important for you guys to think of. Adam al-dharar in Arabic. One of them is an illness that fasting will make worse. So if you have some sort of illness that the doctors and the specialists told you, or you think that it will go much worse. For example, if you have a stomach ulcer or you have diabetes, which is difficult to control, and if you fast...
I have a question on that.
You have a question?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you were to like say a person was sick but he chose to fast, would that be wajib on that still?
No, actually in here the fiqh says that he needs to pay kafar, he did something wrong, because if the fiqh told him that he should not fast and he fasted, this is totally wrong. Allah,
Yes.
because he's breaking the rules. He's not following the rules. He's actually following his.
Okay.
Yeah, he's following.
And
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
if you were to miss out on one of the days that you had to fast where you were sick, would you have to catch up on it later on? After Ramadan?
I will come to that. We will have at the end. We have session about the kafara, and we will discuss all these details.
Ammu.
Yes.
But what if it's not that bad, so you're actually getting better, so it's not as serious.
That's right. If you are not that bad, that's why I put only if the illness is, if the fasting making your illness worse. But if you are improving, and for example, you have flu, I mean, I'm sure you can fast with that. There's no problem with it. But there are some sort of diseases that definitely fasting make them worse, and for these you should not fast.
Like gastric health?
Exactly. For example, gastric ulcer, you should not fast for that, because that definitely will make it worse.
Yeah, I had that once.
Oh goodness. Inshallah you recovered. Right. The other one, which is actually very interesting, if you are afraid that something will hurt you or your family. For example, if you are in a situation where if they find that you are fasting, they will put you in jail or torture you. For this, you should not fast. Or actually, you know that if they find that you are fasting, they will kill your parents. You should not fast. Alhamdulillah, we are inshallah not in these positions, but this is a possibility, and the fiqh has mentioned it. So it's very important that there should be no harm in fasting. So that's what we need to remember. Alright, and then we have traveling. Traveling can be a bit difficult. I try to summarize it, so you will have in slide 30. If we are in our place, that's very nice, continue with fasting. If we decided to travel, and it's not haram to travel, but there are a few rules that you need to remember.
Yes,
Say, what's that? Oh, sorry. So we break our fasting if we travel. First point, we break the fasting if we travel before Dhuhr. So you remember, the time of Dhuhr prayer is very important with the traveling. If we travel before the Dhuhr prayer, we should break our fasting. If we travel after Dhuhr prayer, we can continue. So this is the first one. The second one is, so this is, there is a time condition and there is a place condition. So remember, time and place. So the time is the Dhuhr prayer, the place is the distance, which is 44 km from our city borders. So if you travel from Melbourne, or if you leave the borders and you count 44, that's one. Or if you're actually going to a place which is about 22 km, you count it both ways. So it's like a return also. So it will be 22 and 22, 44. Did you get that?
Okay.
Alright. And then if your work, like a taxi driver or a pilot, so your work is the work which needs traveling, this rule does not fit you, so you have to fast. And the last one, if we are away and we are travel back, so for example, we are in Ballarat and we went for example, to spend Laylatul Qadr in Melbourne, for example. When we come back, if we reach Ballarat before Dhuhr, we can continue fasting. If we delay that till after Dhuhr, we cannot fast.
What what if we reach the city after after Maghrib? Like, doesn't that count as before Dhuhr?
What?
What?
Who's this? Is that Muhammad?
Hey, is that Hamid?
Yes, Muhammad.
What's this question, Muhammad?
Like after Maghrib. Like, if it, you know
How after Maghrib is before Dhuhr?
so it means you can fast, right? No, I think he means like this. He means like that's Maghrib. The next day is Dhuhr.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Right. Okay, Muhammad. All right, yeah, I'm with you now. So if sorry, I didn't understand it. So if you reach, we take it day by day, Muhammad. So for example, you reach there in Maghrib, so you finish your fasting there, and you spend the night. Again, to our example, I spend the night in Melbourne, and the next day, if I don't go to Ballarat before Dhuhr, I cannot. But if I reach Ballarat before Dhuhr, definitely I'll continue fasting. Is that clear?
Yep.
Alright, good. Alright, I think the last one is the niyyah. And for the niyyah, you know what niyyah is, right? You're making the intent. So from the night before, or at the Fajr prayer, you make the niyyah. If you forget to make the niyyah, it's still allowed if you didn't break your fasting and you remembered before Dhuhr, you do it. We can do niyyah for the whole month, so you just do it before the start and that's it. You don't need to repeat it every day, but it's nice to repeat it anyway. If you in the suspect day, which is the last day of Sha'ban, and you are still waiting for Hilal to come, you don't know what's the result, you cannot fast it as it's part of Ramadan. So your niyyah will be it's part of Sha'ban, and you keep on following the news of Hilal. You can change the niyyah up till time of Dhuhr. So if you hear about it before Dhuhr, you can change it to Ramadan and you continue. Is it clear?
Yes.
Alright. So I think that's enough for fiqh for today. The last thing is the faith. And I would call it fiqhul akbar. It is the greatest fiqh, which is how to get our work accepted. Inshallah, I would not take long in that. I can see that, I cannot see actually, I can feel that you are getting tired. The first thing is about Ramadan. I want to give you this hadith, and it's a beautiful hadith. كل عمل ابن آدم يضاعف الحسنة بعشر أمثالها إلا الصوم فإنه لي وأنا أجزي به. All son of Adam's action is doubled 10 times except fasting. It's for me and I will reward it. Really, why I put between brackets or I will be its reward, because وأنا أجزي به has few meanings. One of them, because this fasting is so great, that's the reward, it's related to me and I will be the one who will reward you, and you cannot expect how much in it. But in another meaning, وَأَنَا أَجْزِي بِهِ, as I am the gift. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that the gift of Ramadan is subhanahu wa ta'ala? Probably even it's beyond our imagination. That Allah give Himself to you.
Someone's out.
Who's out? No, nobody out. All of them with us? Okay. Just Skype giving me something that you are out. It looks like I'm out. So try to imagine this, that Allah really comes so close to you in Ramadan that He is your reward. And what does it mean? It means that you are getting really up to be very close to Him. So for this faith part, I will take you inshallah through Ramadan, through this hadith. There will be no mu'min faithful who fasts Ramadan in obedience and anticipation, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him 7 things. He will take away haram from his body, get him close to his God's mercy. He will cover the mistakes of his grandfather Adam alayhi salam. He will make the drunkenness of death is easy for him. And I would not continue because I'll take them one by one, and for today we'll take only 2. I will take with the first one. He will take away haram from his body. Just imagine when you build a house, you need bricks, wood and cement. And you need to have all these substances very pure to make a strong house, isn't it? So what does it mean that Allah will take the haram from our body? Imam Ali alayhi salam in his hadith, he said, if you want to repent to Allah, you need to dissolve the meat that was built from haram, that's the meat of your body, until the skin touches the bone. Then a new clean meat will grow in between. So if we want to apply this on the house, if you have the wood of the house is rotten with worms and with moth, is it enough for you to say, okay, well, I discovered that and I'll treat it? Or it should actually, to secure the house, you should remove this type of wood and build it again. And that's what it means.
Yes, because it will spread.
Exactly. So really what you need to do, and that's what Allah means, what Imam means and the Prophet means when they said, He will take away haram from your body. So all these things that has been built in your body by fasting, by losing weight, is very important. So actually he will bring us to this question. If we are not going to lose weight in haram, have we done this? Have we removed the meat that has been mixed with badness? So really we need to think about how much we eat in this month, and what is one of the goals of this month. We need to remove the badness from our body as we remove it from our soul. And then the last slide, second point, to get him close to his God's mercy. Remember, Allah has 2 types. We always say Rahman and Rahim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So the Rahman mercy is the general mercy that Allah gives for everybody, even for kafir. Otherwise they wouldn't live, because He gives them food, He gives them water. All this part of His mercy, and this is with the whole universe. But there is another mercy which is Rahim mercy, and this is only for the faithful. And this is when He brings them very close to Him. And Ramadan is the best time to do that. Try to give at least 5 minutes after Salat to talk to God. He is there to listen, and you will be amazed how much reply He will give you. So inshallah I will stop here, and I will send you an email with some questions. Not an exam question, just a discussion question. So if you don't mind, try to answer them even with 1 sentence. That would be good enough. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Oh.
Salli ala Muhammad.